everyone, welcome to this April Fool's 2011 special episode commentary video. Rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Basically what it's going to be me talking about the things I did and said in this video in an attempt to drag out the fun for as long as I possibly can. Now, before we begin, I just want to address why I uploaded the video a few hours early. The reason is very simple. It's because it just fit my schedule better that way. And I guess you could also say it was already April Fool's in other parts of the world when I uploaded the video, such as Europe. And it also gave me a better chance of actually getting people with it, which I think I succeeded fairly well, even with all the absurd things that I said in the video. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, basically what I was going for is I was trying to make an LP video, or rather a pseudo-LP video, where I imitate, as best as I can, the mindset of a kid who plays Pokémon and thinks he's hot stuff, he knows everything about the game, just because he can beat his friends in the schoolyard. And those kids typically tend to like Charizard a lot more than they actually should. So, I did my best to try and sell Charizard as an unstoppable force, even though it's anything but. It doesn't completely suck, but it's not that great either. So, unlike my regular LP videos here, I'm scrolling through the text as fast as I can, which is hint number one, that this isn't actually a legit LP video. Now, it's time for me to enter my gender and my name. So, hint number two, that this isn't genuine. I call myself Zard for the win. And for my rival's name, I chose the name Faggot because lots of noobs on the internet like to call other people fags, even though there's nothing wrong with being homosexual. And I really took a huge risk with that disclaimer I put there, because it essentially broke the fourth wall, and it was almost a dead giveaway that this whole thing was going to be a joke. However, it seems like some people took a lot longer than I expected to actually realize that this isn't a genuine LP video at all. I already said a million times I wouldn't LP this game, and still people fell for it. And at this point, I have a minor hiccup here. I try to get the text speed to go by faster, but I accidentally get into the save option, and here I do a very unnoobish thing and take the potion. However, I remembered the red LP where I actually needed that potion in the first battle against Blue, or Faggot rather, sorry. And yes, I know, the movie is Stand By Me. I know. Will you believe I still get comments about it in my red video where I ask where this movie is over 2.5 years later? Anyway, here I diss the technology is incredible guy. Hint number 72, that this isn't a genuine LP video. And here's Faggot here, who is forever alone. No, Oak is not here, so we gotta go to Route 1 and get stopped by Professor Oak as a setup where I'm going to end up getting my starter. And in the video, I tear Bulbasaur and Squirtle a new one. Which obviously is hint number 73, that something's definitely wrong here. Because I have said a million times in these videos that I freaking love the Venusaur line. So for me to diss it like that, something's really off. And that was when many people apparently really, judging by the comments I had, really started to realize, oh wait, something's definitely wrong here. So yeah, Bulbasaur, I insulted. Squirtle, I insulted. And no thanks. And Charmander! Charmander is awesome! I love Charmander! Okay, enough of that. Because this is the commentary video, not the actual one. But yeah, back in the red and blue days, you were either the cool kid who picked Charmander, the kid who picked Squirtle to be the cool kid who had Charmander, or the very rare breed of the kid who actually knew what the fuck he was doing and picked Bulbasaur instead. And yeah, this battle here, pretty generic, so I take advantage of this opportunity to rant about how fire Pokemon should only have fire moves, which is what a lot of people, even today, live by. If it hasn't got stab, it's worthless. And obviously, I have to insert some derogatory comments towards Smogonites, because apparently they really are the worst players in the world, because they can't even kill a Sky Shaman with an Ice Beam attack like every other 5-year-old can. Noob's words, not mine. Anyway, this time I was nowhere near close to actually needing that potion, which is pretty cool, because it would be pretty embarrassing to act like this huge Charmander fanboy and have it almost lose to a Squirtle, though I could have always used the excuse of, well, this Charmander sucks right now because it has no fire moves, even though I'm facing a water Pokemon. But those dumb kids back in the day and even today don't give a crap about that. So here begins the run through Route 1, where I don't encounter a single wild Pokemon, which sort of sucks, because, you know, there was the part where I tried to sell Pidgeot and Raticate as actually being good Pokemon. I intended on doing that here, but since I met absolutely nothing, I had to do it later. And, of course, me saying Pidgeot and Raticate were any good was hint number 243 that something was really wrong, because I said a million times that those Pokemon suck. And the amusing thing is that even today, some people think Pidgeot is actually pretty decent. Here's a hint. It's not. It sucks. Anyway, picked up Oak's parcel. Didn't even stop by the Pokemon Center, since I had no need for healing, since you get automatically healed after the battle against Blue. So I guess this is back to Pallet Town, and since, well, you can use those shortcuts without going in the grass, I did so because it's the noobish thing to do, instead of actually, you know, letting your Pokemon fight to let it gain experience, because there's a really hard boss battle coming up soon. So, back to Pallet Town, and as you noticed, I don't really speak to any minor NPCs, which is hint number 493, that something is horribly wrong with this video. So now I give the parcel in exchange for the Pokédex, and at this point I get in a reference of the epic, awesome Pallet Town theme song, which sadly only one person caught, to my everlasting dismay, which sucks because that song is really awesome. It's really one of the best things on YouTube. I'm not even kidding. No, you cannot disagree. Pallet Town's a travesty. Pokédex or Freebar, are those really a necessity? But yeah, now get the Pokédex and some more text. Good thing I'm scrolling through it at light speed, else I probably would have needed to make 2 or 3 videos for this, and at this point I would probably run out of stupid things to say. And before heading out to catch some stuff, I actually allow myself to go to Daisy's house and get the town map this time around, because unlike in Red, Blue, and Yellow, you don't have limited space in both your bag and your inventory. And the town map doesn't use up a valuable spot in either. So at this point, I try to catch a Pidgey and a Rattata, and at this point, I actually had a failed take. Now, I know what you're saying. I've always said, no outtakes, I show all the failures. However, in that failed take, I encountered 8 Pidgeys in a row before meeting a Rattata. So, at this point, it was really annoying, and it was really detracting from the feel I was trying to give this video. So I canned it and tried it again. And on that note, I could have and probably should have made a mention of all those stupid button combinations people think actually help increase capture chance. But whereas anyone who knows their stuff about the game knows that there's no such button combination, not even for critical captures in black and white. And yet, would you believe me if I told you that I still get comments sometimes when I catch a Pokemon that if you press B and down or A and B and down at the same time when it's wiggling for the first time or second time or whatever, you will have a better chance of catching the Pokemon. I still get comments about that to this day, and the sad thing is, I think those people are not even kidding. They really think it helps. Despite the fact that there are as many variations of this as there are noobs who believe in that crap. Anyway, here I catch a Pidgey, and yeah, I catch 2 Pokemon, and neither of them have a mention of those stupid button combinations. So, I failed twice as much! Hooray! Which reminds me, if you haven't read all the comments for the actual April Fool's video, and I wouldn't blame you for not reading them all because there are over 200 of them, someone asked me what my planned team was for this quote-unquote LP, and I answered, still in joke mode, Charizard, Pidgeot, Raticate, Butterfree, Beedrill, and Raichu. Yeah, awesome team right there, because you know you got an awesome team when it's entirely assembled before the first gym, whereas anyone who follows my LPs know that I wait until later in the game, until better stuff becomes available. And here at this point, I try and get this catching tutorial out of the way. It's mandatory if you want to continue through the game. I really wanted to get it out of the way first before doing any leveling back on Route 1 because, well, I guess I just wanted to joke about this some more and how absurd it is that, you know, this guy's only got 1 Pokeball. And by the way, he actually has a fight command if you look at the menu. So, I joked about this old guy pummeling the Weedle with his bare fists, but the sad thing is, it's actually an option if you trust the menu. Unbelievable. How did the game designers miss that? That's animal cruelty! Where's Team Plasma when you need them? Anyway, at this point, I decided to bring up the Blaziken ban, which obviously it wouldn't sit too well with your average 5-year-old who worships nothing but Charizard. And I also rip on Smorons, quote-unquote, because of their tendency to only ban certain legendaries instead of banning them all, because, as we all know, kiddies who play Pokemon believe that the worst legendary is much better than the best non-legendary, which is absolute bullshit. As I said before, Articuno's got about like 150, 200 non-legendaries that are actually better than it and aren't banned. And at this point, I'm just leveling up to 7 to get Ember, because, well, I just wanted to end this video with, well, actually showing the fire move, because it would have been a bad idea had I hyped up fire moves like crazy throughout the entire video, and you wouldn't get to see one. And that's the reason why I make one more random battle after this, so that you actually get to see Ember. And I say in the video that with Ember in hand, the upcoming battle against Blue would be Faggot. That the battle would be a lot easier, but with a level 7 Charmander and, you know, level 2 and 3 Pidgeys and Rattatas, that's not gonna work. You're gonna get your ass kicked, because Faggot has 2 Pokemon and both have a higher level than this Charmander, and that includes a Squirtle that now knows Bubble. So I would have gotten my ass kicked, though it would have been fun to try and see me make excuses for this supposedly invincible Ember Charmander losing to a pansy Squirtle like that. But I decided against it because those videos can only be up to 15 minutes long, so I decided against it. Which is a shame, really, because I would have loved to see how that would have turned out. Anyway, that concludes this commentary video about April Fool's 2011. I hope you enjoyed it. And no, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do next year, but the good news is that I have a whole year to think of something. So rest assured that either me or one of my regulars is going to have a brilliant idea that will blow your mind 1 year from now. So I'll see you guys next time for our return to normal programming.